Good afternoon, everybody that's on and going to be watching this from their various home bases. We're grateful for our relationship with Fed Alliance. I think where our abilities and capabilities intersect and diverge is kind of a perfect point. You all, Fed Alliance is the expert in terms of getting people ready to do business with the government, in terms of getting them on the GSA schedule, in terms of getting them all the certifications that they need to do, in terms of tackling the proposal side of things. And Lobbyit, being a federal lobbying firm, is one of the experts in the country in terms of getting people in front of people, in terms of forging relationships. And I'm grateful for our partnership where we're able to service clients appropriately, both sides of the coin working together. And some clients need us more than they need Fed Alliance, and other clients need Fed Alliance more than they need us. And some want to start out and just get ready to do business, and others are just dipping their toes into federal waters and want to start building relationships first. So it's not a one size fits all solution. I think the importance of what we're doing together is that we personally tailor all of the options depending on our clients' individual needs, and considering the wide array of issue arenas that our clients are working on. That's absolutely important. And considering the size of the organization as well. You have the smallest of the small just starting out, and you have some massive organizations who are looking to expand their footprint, move into new areas, and find new success where maybe previously they'd hit some roadblocks before. As for Lobbyit, we were founded about 13 or 14 years ago. And the whole reason for being was to take the negatives in the lobbying industry and turn them into positives. So we did a year's worth of concept building before we ever even opened the doors here at Lobbyit, where we talked to executive directors of associations, presidents and CEOs of corporations, where we talked to members of Congress and their staff, and federal agency bureaucrats as well. And what we saw was there was a real lack of transparency in the process, a lack of clear deliverables and any kind of accountability. And the pricing that was quoted generally was just made up out of thin air, and seemed to be based more on how deep a client's pockets were as opposed to the actual work. And when we were founded, we wanted to turn all of that into positives. So we focused on clear deliverables. We return to our clients on a monthly basis a standard monthly report that shows all the meetings that we took on a client's behalf. It shows all the legislation we're tracking, all the rulemakings that we're tracking, any progress that we've made in the federal agencies or in Congress in general. So they can see for themselves the return on investment that they're getting. And I think that that's important. Also, in an age where a lot of lobbying firms charge year-long contracts up front, or tie people into 2 year long contracts. Lobbyit is month to month. So whether that means that you dip your toes in and you find out that for whatever reason it's going to be too arduous, too difficult a path to forge forward on, our clients have the ability to leave. Or if they think it's too good to be true, they have the ability to leave. But for us, it's all about giving that peace of mind, and our clients stay with us longer than they do even the traditional big, massive law firm type lobbying firms that people are used to working with. We pride ourselves on building strong relationships, not only with the federal government, but with our clients as well. So we have standing calls with our clients to make sure that we are up to date on what the latest is with them, and so that we can pivot accordingly, depending on the good and the bad that come out of the meetings that we're taking for our clients. And that dovetails nicely again with Fed Alliance and their set pricing and their tier levels. I think the biggest takeaway that people are going to get from working with Fed Alliance and Lobbyit combined is there aren't really any other actors out there that are offering set prices and making lobbying and federal contracting approachable the way that we are. In an area where things are, very partisan right now, and Congress is very dysfunctional, and you have Republicans and Democrats almost with equal amounts of power. Lobbyit prides itself on being a nonpartisan, a bipartisan voice. We stand on the merits of the stories that our clients have to tell, and we're very adept storytellers at that. In general, at Lobbyit, even our lobbyists themselves fall on different ends of the political spectrum. And that's important because depending which way this upcoming presidential election works, you're going to need to have somebody with you that can get into all the new presidential appointees, get into all the new bureaucrats that are going to be coming into the agencies, depending on which agencies are staffed up and which agencies are staffed down. And we're well positioned to tackle that as well. Something I think that's important that everybody should know, especially when you're just looking at things from a federal contracting perspective, you generally think very linear, very straightforward in terms of, okay, this is a contracting opportunity, this is my proposal, and we're going to put it forward. From Lobbyit's perspective, we want to try and forge relationships so that you know about the opportunities before anybody else does, so that you're in the federal agencies meeting with program managers and key decision makers before anybody else does, so that if possible, you can help shape the solicitation before it comes out. And sometimes there's a long runway on that, and maybe even shape the need for new solicitations down the road as well. But there is a major intersection between what Congress does and what the federal agencies do. On the federal agency side of things, you're dealing with bureaucrats. You're dealing with individuals that generally don't want to stick their neck out, don't want to try something new, don't have any real need to rattle things up. But in Congress, you have champions, whether that's based on your constituency and where your operations are, whether that's based on your industry and a predisposition of certain members of Congress to support that specific industry, or whatever it may be. Congress has the ability through their liaisons with the various federal agencies to help us move the needle and to give more weight to your application and to express their wishes for support as well. So that's one side of the equation. But the other side is creating a more competitive environment for you as well. Obviously, you're looking straightforward at contracting, but how can you create a more competitive environment? Is there a niche that you're doing, a way that you're tackling business that your competitors aren't? Could that be codified in legislation? Could that be codified in a federal rulemaking? And we look at all those opportunities. So we're very robust at our tracking of legislative opportunities and regulatory opportunities so that we can submit comment on any rulemakings and proposed rulemakings that are coming out, so that we can submit written testimony and possibly oral testimony for any legislation that's coming out, and so that we can potentially suggest new bills and new regulations that would put you in a better landscape and have a higher ability for you to be successful with your services or your products as well. So that's roughly how it works. We're looking forward to hearing all of your stories, and we're happy to set up any conference calls as need be. And if anybody has any questions, I'd be happy to take any right now and give you an answer.